Well, greetings all. We're coming at you from the Astro van. I am just trying to get some things cleaned up in here. Just trying to go over all the walls and back here. They're pretty grimy, so I'm just taking some spray cleaner and wiping them down. And then I have a couple other projects, actually probably just one project today. I'll show you what I've got. Okay, so for today's project, I picked these up. These I highly recommend. I've used these on all my other vans. AVS, I believe that stands for Auto Vent Shade. These are custom fit for your make and model of your vehicle, and they go over your driver or passenger side window and allows you to keep your windows cracked and partially open even if it's raining for ventilation. These in combination with a roof vent fan can really get the air moving for your vehicle. And the roof vent fan that I did choose is the Max Air that can be used while it's raining, so that'll be the setup I have for ventilation. So we'll go ahead and get these installed. The way these work, I think they have two different kinds still. Some of them fit up in the window seal, and the other ones like these just stick on right on the door frame around the window. So we'll get them installed. They are made in the USA, generally about $30 to $35 for a set. Pretty easy to install. Yeah, as you can see here, it's got 85 to 05 Safari, which is the Astro van, Sonoma, Jimmy, S10, Astro's up there. So yeah, it's make and model specific. All right, see if we can get these installed. Okay, so I got them opened up out of the package there. That's what they look like. They are tinted, kind of translucent. You can see through there a little bit. And then it has the stick-on right on it already. You just peel off this red strip and set it right on there. It's a little bit of a delicate process, kind of like putting a screensaver on your phone. You got to get it placed right the first time. It does come with some alcohol prep pads and a little scrubber pad if you need to get the surface of the door frame cleaned up real good. So I'll do that, make sure it sticks real good. I'm just going to hit it real lightly with this little scrub pad, get off any excess dirt, try not to scratch up the paint too much, and then go in with the alcohol pads. Get it nice and clean. Of course, you could use your own rubbing alcohol and a rag, but I'm just going to use these because it came with them. Okay, let's do the other side. All right, then we're ready for the fun part, getting it stuck on there. Okay, so I ran into a little bit of an issue already. See on my van here, there's this little line. And so this part of the frame is slightly lower than up top there. And the vent shade is not contoured to that little change there. So I kind of thought for a second and remembered I have this 3M double sticky adhesive that's kind of thick. It's just about the thickness of that difference there. So I think I'm going to lay a little strip of this in there first to compensate for that gap. I'll line this up, make sure I put it in the right place, because this stuff is super sticky. Once you lay it down, it's hard to get off. It's kind of gummy. It's like this thick gummy tape. So yeah, I think that's going to be the remedy for that little gap. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to be blocking the view here of the camera, but I'll try to step aside. So I'm going to get this lined up and just use a pencil to kind of mark it. So when I pull that adhesive, I know right where to stick it. Otherwise, it can be a little tricky. Bring it down as low as possible. Get the maximum coverage. Try to hold it still. The important part is right on this curve here. I'm going to use pencil so that'll wash off. Up on this curve here, and then down. Ooh, wasn't lined up. Shoot. Yeah, okay, that's better. So we'll use the outer line that I make. One there and down here. Okay, I think we got it. And then right here, so we clear this little black piece. Okay, so now I know where I can stick my tape, and I'll use 2 layers of this if I need to. Okay, look at about how much we need there. About right there. And I really only needed about half the width, so I'll trim it down. I may layer these up if it needs to be that thick. But this stuff is pretty thick on its own. Yeah, I think 2 layers will be perfect. Okay. Yep, that's just the right thickness. Give you a shot. So you just layered up that way it's level there, coming down from that. Okay, this is the moment of truth here. Gotta watch out, that is sticky already. I got my mark right there, which is gonna help. And then there. I think I'm ready to pull this stuff off. Okay, let's screw it up, bro. This side lined up. Boom, we got it. Okay, then I'm just gonna kind of push on it for a good solid 10 seconds in each spot. 2, 3, 9, 10. Same up here. Are we on? Yeah, good. I got it as low as I could. There we go. Okay, I got my double-sided sticky stuff here. Compensate for a little gap. Okay, let's get our shade. Well, we got some nice weather today. It's supposed to be like in the high 60s in a couple days. We might even hit 80 here. Just talking to a buddy up in Minnesota, negative 20. Jeez. Yeah, shouldn't have trimmed my nails so short. Moment of truth. I'm gonna go front first. About right there. We in. It's stuck, I gotta go with it. Okay, I think we're on, guys. Yeah. That's it. Hey, let's get these windows cracked. Jeez. Nice. Okay, I'll try to give you a glimpse here. It's kind of a bad angle with the sun, but the window is closed now. You can see it come down, go about right there. So we get a good solid inch, a little more than an inch, not quite an inch and a half. And the other cool thing is that when that window is cracked, when the door is shut, you can't really see that the window is open. Well, I guess you kind of can. But I've got it down pretty low. But we'll bring it up a little more. So yeah, when the window's cracked, it's kind of hard to see that it's cracked from outside. Okay, well, we'll start with giving you an overview of my setup here in this self-built box van camper. I set it up to where this is my stove underneath this cover here, which is nice because when I'm not using the stove, I still have countertop space. And under here is cabinetry for storage. I've been using this mainly. I've got my 2 fry pans in there, and then a bin here with some food, coffee, which I do not drink anymore. I've stopped drinking coffee a couple months ago, so I need to get rid of that. And then mostly all this is like spices and seasonings type stuff. But the bulk of my food storage is down here in these cupboards here. I notice a lot of people in their camper vans, they store their food up in their upper storage. And in my opinion, that's about the worst place you could put your food. Camper vans get really hot in the summertime. The hottest part of the van is up top, especially near the roof and the side of the van. It's literally the hottest spot in my van when it gets warm. So I've found that the coolest spot is on the floor of the van. So this is about as close as I got to the floor here. And this is just all packed with food. It's mostly canned goods and some other things. I do have my electric kettle in here. But other than that, this is just all packed with food. Again, a lot of canned food, pastas, flour, and some rolled oats there. And yeah, this is just kind of how I stockpile to give you an idea how much food I have. It's in excess, and it's kind of a problem in a way. I mean, it's good as far as being like prepped. If I was ever stuck off grid and, you know, needed to survive, I'd be good for probably a good few months, if not more. This is packed with more stuff like canned sardines and canned fish, some more seasoning stuff, some ramens. Again, this is like crazy. There's 4 pounds of pasta right there. That would take me forever. This is another good backup food that I've always used. These are dehydrated refried beans. These are dry. You just put them in a pan with water and bring it up to a boil, and you kind of just keep adding these or water till you get the right consistency, and they come out really good. It's great backup food. Good proteins there. I need to go through all this and just get it all out. I'm going to put it all out on my couch bed here behind me that I'm sitting on, and just really take a look at what I got and try to start eating some of it, because I really don't want to bring all this in the minivan. So yeah, let's get busy. All right, so my food cupboard is empty. I have not seen the bottom of this for a long, long time. I also had some more canned goods under this little section here. So yeah, let's turn it around and show you what I've been hoarding here. Boom, there it is. Now to me this seems like an excess of canned goods and backup foods. To those of you that have a normal size house, this may not seem like a lot, but to me, to have packed in my van, it to me is an excess. And all along I've kind of felt good about this because it's backup food. It's kind of prepping in a way. I know I'm out camped in the wilderness for up to 2 weeks at a time, sometimes without communication. And I've always just felt if anything I'm going to have of excess, it should be food, you know, non-perishable type stuff. Not just for me, but for others. If there was someone that was stranded and needed food, I've always that type of person that like to be able to have backup stuff to help other people as well. And that translates into my tools that I carry as well. This whole half of my bed here underneath is all tools. A lot of it I rarely use. Most of it I use to build out this camper van itself. And then after I've built this out, I've kept the tools to help others build out their camper vans. And again, I just kind of have to make the decision, like, am I the guy that can carry all this stuff around? So yeah, this is what I'm going through. This is the whole reassessment, reevaluating how much stuff I really want to have on the road. This is a ton of weight. If I would have put this on a scale, like there's a lot of poundage in food, same with my tools. So yeah, let's just look at what I got. This is the kind of stuff I keep for backup. A lot of beans. I love these ranch style beans. Chili beans, pinto beans, black beans, garbanzo beans, yeah, I said black beans, some canned veggies, peas and carrots, green beans, a lot of corn. This is all canned chicken breast. I've got like 5 or 6 cans of that, about 5 cans of tuna. I showed these already, these green chili beans. Yeah, like 5 pounds of pasta. It's like, really? Do I need all of that? I've got a ton of these diced tomatoes. There's a reason why I have so many of these, and it's because when I go to the store, I forget that I have so many already and I buy another can. But I use those canned tomatoes for this salsa mix. It's like the dehydrated seasonings to make a salsa. You take 1 can of that, a scoop of this, it's dry, and it makes a really good salsa. You put it in the fridge and all the flavors incorporate, and man, it's good stuff. I actually got this at the Big Tent RV show in Quartzsite. They have a booth there. So yeah, that box mac and cheese, some mayo for all that chicken. I usually make like a chicken salad for sandwiches. Cream of mushroom I use, you can use that with like a can of mixed veggies and a can of this chicken stuff and make like a hot dish if you're from the Midwest, or casserole. A lot of canned sardines. I am on the Deans big time. I eat sardines probably every other day, so I always keep a lot of sardines on hand, kipper snacks, smoked oysters, that kind of stuff. Ramens, yeah, I've got some box ramen noodles here. So just a lot of food. And again, I don't want to stuff all of this into the Astro van, so I'm going to go through it and see what I can do. So most likely with the excess of food here, I am going to offer it to family, my parents and other family I have around, and donate to a food bank if need be, and then keep a small portion of it to transfer into the Astro van. But yeah, there's no way I'm taking all this food in the Astro van. So yeah, getting this together. I'm actually going through my clothes too. I'm going to leave a lot of clothes stored here in the van. I have, this is just how I roll. If I have the space, I'll fill it up, and I have this mentality of trying to be prepared and having everything I need, and it turns out that everything I have I don't need because I don't use it. I'll turn this around and show you. Yeah, so up top here is where I store my clothes. Again, my theory with storing clothes up high is so I don't store food up there. That is, again, the hottest part of the van. So it kind of acts like insulation having my clothes up there. But again, there is I have a lot of my clothes out of here because I'm doing laundry, but there's like this whole lower level of clothes that I stack my normal wear stuff on top of that I've never touched. I just have not touched it since I've been on the road. So I'm just driving it around the country, giving it a tour, and you know, it should be donated to a thrift store or something. So I'll be doing the same thing with my clothes, and then tools too. I'm going to have to really make some hard decisions on what tools I really want to keep. But yeah, this is what I'm up against, guys. It is spring cleaning time, even though it's still winter. And yeah, just regrouping, minimizing. Got a lot of work ahead of me. All right, so I got all the cans packed into this tote here. I just tried to give that a lift. That's got to be 50 pounds or close to it. Crazy. All right, I think we're going to wrap it up here. I really appreciate y'all joining me on this one. A couple updates. The cargo trailer that I had for sale, as well as my motorcycle, I believe they're both sold. Well, the cargo trailer is sold. I was able to sell that to a subscriber of the channel that lives here in San Diego. Ralph, it was a pleasure to meet you. I really hope the trailer works out for you. And then I'm pretty sure I have the motorcycle sold. It's not done yet, but a guy from Utah wants to come down and pick it up. So it's kind of working out perfectly. Him and his wife are going to take a little mini vacation and come down to San Diego and visit some sites in San Diego and then pick up the bike on the way out. So it'll be awesome to meet them and yeah, have that motorcycle sold. So for those of you that are used to my normal camping videos and traveling about, I will be getting to that soon, probably within the next few weeks. So in the meantime, I'm just going to try to keep bringing you all some little mini updates like this on a more regular basis, just to keep you in touch with what's going on here. And those of you that are, have ever thought about hitting the road for the first time, I kind of feel like I'm hitting the road for the first time all over again with all this regrouping and downsizing and heading out in a new vehicle, a new to me vehicle. So yeah, I'm feeling very adventurous, even though I'm kind of grounded. But yeah, this has been quite the process with the downsizing. And yeah, we'll just continue to bring you guys along. Next video, I may be doing the roof vent install on the Astro van, some more organizing and downsizing in here, and we'll be talking about kind of how I arrived at this box van. I can't believe it's been almost 5 years since I've been in this box van, and the reasoning why I thought I wanted to go bigger and how it went for those almost 5 years, and how I've arrived at this feeling the need to kind of downsize and go minimal for a little bit. So yeah, I'll be bringing you some more on that, just to kind of give you a feel for somebody like me that's had a good solid 10 years of experience on the road and why I make the decisions I make. So again, I appreciate you guys joining me, and I hope you're doing well out there, and we'll see you soon, guys. Take care. Peace.